Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm Anastasia, and this is Keeping It Guyanese with Anna. Welcome to my kitchen today. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some Guyanese fish cake, and this is my method of making Guyanese fish cake. So let's get right into it, guys. These are the ingredients that you will need to make your Guyanese fish cake. As you can see that I have the saltfish there. It was already boiling, so it's finished. And I already took it out, strained it, and I loosed it up, separated. And I'm peeling my carrots. I have 2 carrots there that I'm going to be using those carrots, not for my fish cake, but those carrots will be using for my potato stew. So I'm just prepping the stuff that I'll need. The tomato I'm going to also be using for my potato stew. The scallions, I'm going to use some of it for the fish cake. I have thyme there. I'm going to use in the fish cake also. And I'll also be using some of the potato for the fish cake and 1 egg for my fish cake. So guys, let's dive into this and get ready. I'm cutting up my ingredients that I'm going to need to prepare this wonderful dinner. This could be dinner, it could be lunch, whatever time of the day. Guyanese fish cake is delicious to carry down. You can even have Guyanese fish cake as just, part of you're having a little brunch. You have it as part of finger foods. I just took out my onion, forgot to put it out there. I do not do anything without onions. I love onions. And I love to use a lot of onions in my food. That's just my preference. Whatever I list that you do not use, you can feel free to remove. I'm just giving you my method of how I create Guyanese fish cake. And I'm going to be creating this dish with some potato stew. You could use fish cake even in puri. And there's so many other things. You could use it with bake. Today we're going to be using it as a meal with potato stew and rice. So I'm washing my thyme and I cut it up. And I'm going to make sure that I peel the potatoes. I wash everything. You just want to make sure that everything is sanitized and clean. So I'm constantly by the sink washing stuff. Even though I've washed before I started the video, I'm so used to washing that I'm still washing back. And once you're peeling potato, you're definitely going to be washing, because these potatoes are what I'm going to be using for my fish cake. I'm not cutting it small. I'm just cutting them in 2. Then I'm going to rinse them out, and I'm going to put it in a pot with water to boil soon. The potatoes in the pot boiling, and make sure that you put enough water in the pot to cover the potato, and add a little bit of salt and just let it boil. Does this still happen to you where you're peeling the onion and your eyes start to burn? That's what's happening to me right now. I remember back in Guyana when you peeling onion, used to burn your eyes like crazy. Here is where I get my little workout from. So I'm cutting the onion up, and as you can see, I'm busy going in on that onion because it's a huge onion. It's very large, but I'm cutting half of that onion in slices, and then I'm gonna cut the other half very small in cubes. I want to do it very, very, very tiny. I chop it up very tiny because the part that I'm chopping very tiny is the ones that I'm gonna be using in the fish cake. And some people, you don't have to chop it up. You could even grate it and put it into the fish cake, but I prefer to do it like this. As I say, I love onions, so I like to taste my onions and stuff, and it's a more rich and nicer fish cake. But it's all up to you. There's another option. You could grate your onions if you prefer. Well, at this point, I decided to peel the other potatoes that I have remaining that is going to be used in the potato stew, a tomato potato stew, tomatoes. I'm going to be using that. So I'm cutting that up now, and you notice I'm not cutting that and leaving it as big as the first one. You're going to notice after I'm finished peeling these potatoes, I cut it in two halves, and then I cut it in another half and then another half. So basically from the first half, I'll get four, and the other half four. So I'll get 8 pieces from each half of potato. From each potato, the whole potato will give me 8 pieces. I'll get four from each half. Yes. Our potatoes boiled. I'm about to crush it. So if you have one of these, you could use this to crush your potato, but if you don't, it's no big deal. You could always use a fork. So yes, here I'm working everything in. I'm crushing the potato. I'm sorry that I'm backing you guys, but I apologize for this. In my other upcoming videos, you guys would notice that I've changed my video angle, and I was mashing and adding everything, all the ingredients that I have. Just after I'm finished, just put everything together. Put the saltfish with the potato, we added the egg in now. Egg in, as you can see, it's right there. Add it. You guys notice my top change at some point? Yes, my hands are clean so I could get in there. And yes, I ran outside and came back in. I had a cover up, and I was doing a lot that day. It was hot inside, cold outside, so I didn't want to get sick. So I'm working everything in. I'm gonna be working all my ingredients, my onions, my dry thyme, half of scotch bonnet pepper, my egg, my potato, you could take a little bit the saltfish. Everything is in that bowl. My seasoning, right? I'm working it in, and I don't put salt to this ingredients because it's saltfish we're dealing with, so you don't need no salt. Sometimes I add a little bit of my cube powder, but I'll add black pepper. And I like to taste even before you fry the saltfish, taste it. So I'll know what my saltfish, my fish cake is gonna taste like. So yes, I work everything together, and once I'm finished working it together and I taste it and I like the taste of it, I would go ahead and get a bowl and get my flour situated where I could start rolling out my fish cake. There's different shapes and style that you could make your fish cake. This is my style that I like to make it. I remember back in the days back home, my grandmother used to do them round circle ones, and she did it like this. This was the two methods I know of. This, even to my mom, I basically remember almost all of my recipes from my mom. So this was her style of making fish cake, and she would do it like this. So, okay, guys, just stay with me and we'll roll out this fish cake, and you'll see when I'm finished how, my fish cake look. I try to take the same amount for each one. So it's just all about average. There's no, you know, there's no handwritten book on how to do this. It's just about averaging shapes and averaging the size that you want it, and you know how many you want to make. If you trying to make a whole lot, then you probably might want to cut down on the size. But this is a very good appetizer that you could do for parties. And if you're doing it for parties too, I would suggest you could do it round. You could do it smaller and you do it round. And that way you could make them pretty with toothpicks on it and have it with a dip for events. But today we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to do it long and round. And this is your Guyanese fish cake. Yes, your Guyanese fish cake. I want to thank you all, everyone who's viewing this video right now. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sharing my videos. I'm not a professional yet at this. This is something I'm sharing with you guys that I love to do. I love cooking, so I'm sharing it with you. And I look forward to sharing many more videos of all the things that I love to do with you guys. But thank you so much for subscribing. If you have not subscribed as yet to my channel, right down on the bottom of your right hand side of your screen, you'll see the word subscribe. Just press that button that says subscribe and subscribe to my channel. That way you will be updated on every video that I post. And share this video with your friends. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, if you're paying keen attention, you notice as I scoop up the amount that I'm going to use and I shape it off in the palm of my hand, I make sure that everything is together. I go across to the flour that's on the other side, and I put my saltfish cake, roll it out in the flour so that it's floured completely, right? And the reason why you making sure that you flour it too is because you don't want your fish cake to stick in the pan when you start to fry it. You will see what I mean when you see me fry my fish cake. They sit nicely in the pan. They're not loosen up, so you have to make sure that this part you do not skip this part. You make sure that you roll it nicely. You form it, and after you form it, then you coat it with the flour over it. My daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, is in the background. She's listening to her show, so from time to time you might hear her come in and say something or, ask a question. But I'm just letting you guys know I have a 4-year-old daughter that's right there with me while I'm doing stuff. So you might hear her disturbing us a little. I ask you guys to forgive us and excuse the disturbance. Okay, so we're finished rolling off, and the oil is hotting. It's easy to check to see the oil is hot. It's true. So we know the oil is hot. We start putting fish cube. Okay, and frying. I have to fry this until it's brown. Okay guys, so you could just go ahead and grab a tongue, the thing that you see in my hands, because that's very easy to be able to turn your fish cakes in the pan. So I'm gonna turn over all the fish cakes, as they brown. They look a little brown to me, so I'll turn them over so that they all fully cook right through. I'm gonna be turning them several times, but it's very, very easy for you to turn it with a tongue. So that way, you don't mash any of your fish cake. And you notice, as I was telling you before, none of the fish cakes are loosen up or anything. They're just nice and firm in the pan. So everyone is turned over and they're browning. Just let it fry on each side for like a minute or two. Flip it over again until it has the right consistency of a nice golden brown color on both sides. Here I have a bowl lined with some paper towel to absorb any oil. Okay, so we use any kind of oil to fry those fish cake, but now I'm gonna do the stew that I told you about. And I like to use extra virgin oil. I'm just gonna throw a little bit in the pan. I'm not sure if I said extra virgin olive oil. It's not just regular oil, it's olive oil. I like to do my stew with olive oil. So now I'm placing the onions in the oil. The oil is hot. And I'm gonna just saute that onion, get it nice and caramel brown. And I'm gonna add all the other rest of ingredients, because this is the part now where I'm actually going to start making the potato stew. So that is cube powder. Pepper. Turn the heat to medium while you do this. Put in some thyme, some dry thyme from in here. I have the heat turned down, the fire turned down over there. I like to take these out to the pan. This was the last step. So you see how nice and firm my fish cakes are. They didn't loose up or anything. Right, and it's golden brown. If you're a person that likes your stuff fried dark, you could go ahead and fry it as dark as you would like. Not to burn it. So right here I've added some tomato paste. I've also added some ketchup to my onions. There's no measurement. I just average because I've been doing this for a while. So if I'm supposed to give you a rough average of how much I've added, it would probably be about 5 tablespoons of each, I'm assuming. And now I'm gonna add the carrots. I'm gonna add some of the garlic, some of the onion, and some of the scallion. I'm not putting in the tomatoes now. I'm gonna leave back some of the scallion too for the ending of the stew. So I'm just gonna let this here fry up. Okay guys, you can take these out. See the color? Remember, the key to having a great tasting dish is to taste your dish. You have to taste your dish, know how it's tasting, know what it's missing, right? At this point, I'm definitely looking at this and I realize that I'm probably going to need a little bit more water in this because I'm going to put it to simmer. So I'm going to probably add another cup of water or a little less than a cup. My scotch bonnet pepper, I have added to it. And when I'm finished adding that other cup of water, I'm going to just let it sit, and I'm going to cover it and let it simmer while it's on medium heat. Don't have your heat to the highest because you want it to cook properly, especially the potatoes. You want to know that your potatoes are cooked through well. So I'm adding the rest of water, and then I'm going to cover it down. We will check this back in like about 15 minutes. It's been like about 15 minutes or a little bit over. And it looks like our potatoes are soft. See? I cut one. And I'm going to go ahead now and add this to it. And because so definitely my stew is looking beautiful. It's not watery, it's not too thick, it's just at the right texture where you want it to be. And that's, tasting it to make sure the taste also is good and to see if I think it's short anything. But definitely when you add potato to any dish that you're making, it gives it a thick, it thickens your liquid that you're adding to that dish and makes the dish, beautiful. It makes it it gives it the right texture that it needs. So I noticed I felt like I was missing my ginger. Because normally I would add either some ground ginger to my stew or I would grate a piece of ginger. So I think it was missing some ginger. So I went back in, added a little ginger, added some pink salt to it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Whatever I was tasting that I felt that it just needed a little taste, not a lot, but little taste of it. And because I don't want none of the ingredients that I add to overpower any of the ingredients. It must all just flow together. So here you have it, guys. This is the Guyanese fish cake with some potato stew. And I topped it with a little bit of white rice. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. I hope you enjoy this video. And I hope that you enjoy your meal when you do it the way that I did it. Keeping it Guyanese with Anna.